All right, so I'm here with Baba. Baba, thanks for coming on.
Anytime, anytime, bro.
All right, so why don't you introduce yourself for those that might not know who you are, name, where you're from, year, all that good stuff.
Okay. My name is Baba Ajike. I'm from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I'm on the basketball team, and I transferred to Florida Southern from California University of Pennsylvania. And yeah,
All
that's it.
right, awesome. All right, Baba. So, talk to me about California University of Pennsylvania. Where were you guys at when this COVID hit and this season was over? Were you guys in the tournament, or you guys missed the tournament? Like, talk to me where you were at that point.
We had just missed the tournament. I think by a game. We had just lost in our conference tournament to a rival IUP.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and we knew that we were 19-11. We didn't have a really big shot to get into the tournament without 20 wins, especially in the region because there was too many good teams. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, the tournament, like I went home for spring break, March, I believe March 5th. So that was before they started shutting everything down with COVID and everything. So my season was already over.
Right.
And so like, it was just I was home
Yeah.
when I saw everything was starting to get canceled and conference tournaments getting canceled, NCAA tournament getting canceled,
Yep.
NBA season being suspended, all that stuff. So yeah,
Mhm. All right. Talk to me about your decision to transfer. What was the main reason for that? Like, what was the main driving force behind that, and why did you pick FSC?
I mean, my main reason for transferring was I didn't feel as if the last program I was in that I would have become the best player that I could have become. That goes obviously with the competition level that we face. I mean, PSAC was a pretty solid Division II conference, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not. I mean, Sunshine State Conference is much
Right.
stronger.
Right.
And I mean, for me, that was my main thing. I wanted to become the best player I could possibly become. Talking to Coach Donnelly and Coach Mack over the summer
Mm-hmm.
and no, spring and like I committed in May. Talking to them about like they recruited me hard, like from when they saw me in the portal.
Right.
And, they really preached to me like how much better guys get in the program, and obviously, coming to Florida would be nice. Um,
Yeah.
my sister lives 40 minutes from here. My brother lives in Miami, so
Oh,
you
that's
know, it was
awesome.
a decision. Easy decision. And obviously, my goal is here to win a national championship. So
Oh,
I know is if we get to win and if we get to play this year,
yeah.
it's no doubt in my mind that we'll be able to get that national championship for sure.
No doubt, man. That's always a standard here. All right.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about your first impressions. I mean, you've been there for a little over a month, I think. So talk to me
Yeah.
about obviously you haven't been able to do a lot of on-court stuff, but like overall, like the campus, the vibe you're getting. What's been your first impressions?
What surprised me most about this campus, I'm not gonna lie, was how like it's low key like big,
Mm-hmm.
like to walk around. And like
Yeah.
at my last school, like Cal U, like a lot more kids than Florida Southern, but the campus was still a lot of buildings, but it was more compact.
Right.
The buildings weren't far from each other. My furthest class was like I think like an 8-minute walk from the back of campus to the front of campus, which is not far at all. So like here I got lost like looking for folk science. I got lost looking
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
uh Chatlo's building, like, and those are the only two and I got lost looking for the theater. Those are
Right.
my only person classes. So like those, I mean, that caught me off guard. But
Mhm.
I rode my bike to my class in the first couple of weeks. So I was getting to class, a little bit late looking for these buildings. But I like the camp. I mean, now that I've obviously been here for over a month, I'm starting to understand how things go. I know exactly what my classes are now, so I don't have to really think about it now. And I just like the vibe. I mean, obviously, it's not the vibe that everybody's used to in college, especially here, because I know that everybody's walking around with masks right now. It's
Yeah.
not the norm. And obviously, not as many people you interact with each day. So, I mean, it's been pretty good for the circumstance, obviously, that we're in. But love everything with the team. All the guys here. Obviously, wish you were here with us, but like,
Yeah, man.
I'm already starting to form relationships with everybody. So when you get down here, we'll be sure to form our own. But right now, it's just everybody's just waiting to get back in the gym. I feel like everybody, for the most part, is just as hungry to get back in to the workouts as like everybody's at the same type of hunger right now. Everybody wants to get into the gym. Everybody's pissed off that we get only half the court and wellness and like
Yeah.
get not wearing our masks. Like,
Mhm.
so, you know, I'm just happy with everything right now. Definitely happy where we're at right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Baba. All right,
Mm.
so yeah, I mean, you touched on a couple of things I was going to ask you. So, I want to go back a little bit. So, was the past team success here at FSC something that really like caught your attention aside from Coach Donnelly like recruiting you and all that stuff? Was like when you just looked overall the program, was it like the recent success here like a big factor? Was it, like you wanted to be a part of a winning program like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, uh, Coach Donnelly he wasn't here the year that he came the year after they won the national
Right.
championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously, seeing that the program has won national championships before, has a winning, um, mentality, winning like type of identity. I definitely like, and obviously, like just looking. I mean, the past success, like at some schools, don't mean much because let's say Coach Donnelly wasn't a good coach and he got here and like couldn't recruit guys to come to the school anymore, then where does that national championship come? It's not just that. It's the fact that he got here, brought them all the way back to the
Mhm.
national prominence that that they
Yep.
were up until 2015. And so like I just wanted to be a part of that,
Oh
of
yeah.
something bigger.
I know. I hear you. All
Mhm.
right, Baba. So I'm sure by now you're obviously aware of like how we did last year, our team, and like how we had our stuff canceled and everything. So
Yeah.
do you feel like you're capable of coming in and helping the guys that are coming back from last year? Do you feel like your skill set will match what we're trying to do? And like, so because the goal is always to compete for national championship, like you said, but like for right now, our goal is to like win the conference again, host the region again. So like, do you feel like what you bring to the team will help us accomplish that goal?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, um, sometimes it won't even just be my skill set. That I mean, obviously, I believe that at my last school I wasn't able to showcase myself. Coach Donnelly told me when you get here, like
Mm-hmm.
you feel comfortable shooting anything, any part of the game, you feel comfortable like my game, like able to play my game in the system. As the trailer anywhere on the wing, anywhere he needs me, I'll be able to produce for him, and I'll compete every play, every possession, and defensively as well. I know that, just from talking to the guys, like just how hungry they are. And, my first thing when I got here was just to prove to them just how hungry I am too. Cause I
Mm-hmm.
understand got their season taken away. But,
Right.
I was one of those people on the outside pissed off they didn't even make it into the tournament. So,
Yeah.
you know, I just want to, every second I'm out there, I just want to be able to help the guys, even if it's just not with scoring. I mean, I know I can score the ball, but even if it's just being a great teammate sometimes. And I definitely think that I could bring a lot to the table to, get us to where we need to be.
So let me talk about COVID for a sec. So we're in October now. For the most part, this kind of the whole shutdown, like staying home thing, was in March. So talk to me about what it's been like for you personally. You were at FFC at that point, but like at your old school, and then like before you transferred here, what has life been like for you in terms of like living in a pandemic, and then before the pandemic happened?
I mean, before the pandemic, I mean, like I was at obviously Cal, and we were so caught up in the season that like coronavirus never really like nobody even talked about it until like March. You know,
Mhm.
I remember I had like I was injured a lot last year. Far from home. in the middle of nowhere, not
Yeah.
really having my best season.
Right.
And, I was just frustrated a lot when I was there. But um, one thing I do remember is in January when I was like, I got like sick, like with flu-like symptoms. And, I thought it was just a flu. I go to the wellness center at my school and they look at me and they say, well, we did the flu test and you don't have the flu. And I'm just
Right.
like, well, then what is like, they're saying, just go get rest. I'm sure you're just under the weather. So
Hmm.
like, go back to my room. I remember one of my friends, I was telling them wasn't feeling too good. And she started saying like, oh, you got the coronavirus. This is back in January. So I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some new illness and from China or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, but that was the only time I heard about the coronavirus until March. And then I remember I got back home, and that was just everybody was talking about it. For before then, I wasn't even thinking about it because I was thinking about basketball.
Hmm.
I mean, when I saw how fast it was spreading and the numbers crazy, and especially in New Jersey where I live,
Hmm.
it was bad. Like there, New York, Philadelphia, like it was really bad. And my whole concern wasn't obviously like the mortality rates for people our age is like literally nothing.
Yeah.
But like my parents, like they're both at risk ages. So like I wanted to be, smart for them, make sure that I'm not like doing anything that would put the house at risk.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part of the pandemic, I just spent my time working out outdoors, getting in the gym when I could have. Only traveling I did was when I came down here to come see the campus, stayed in Miami with my brother
Hmm.
the rest of that week. But other than that, I've just been working out outdoors, coming back, spending time with my parents. Just spend a lot of time just thinking this summer because, when you just like being up here right now, when you're not allowed to do everything you're used to doing, you take
Yeah.
more of the day to just sit back and just slow life down a little bit. So, I mean, that's for me, it was just a lot of working out, a lot of, chilling,
No, I hear you. I hear you.
positive.
All right. So, you did touch this briefly that when you were talking to Coach Donnelly before you committed here, that he said that you just be yourself because you felt you didn't get to be yourself at Cal, right? So, talk to me about what you think Baba Ajike's game is. Like what kind of player are you that you think you weren't able to be last year? So like what's the skill set that you have that you think like is the real you sort of thing?
Yeah. Um, I mean, I can score the ball in a lot of different ways. I score the ball inside like as if I was a big. I can get to the cup and finish as if I was guard. I can make the three.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I take most pride in, like in my game, is my mid range. Like I feel like in the mid range, like I shoot just as good as anybody, if not better than anybody. Like within like the 3-point line and
Right, right, yeah.
around the free throw line, all that. Like anywhere, like in the mid range, I feel like I'm hitting that every single time. So like for me, at my last school, you know, in high school, I played the three. I played on the wing. I put the ball on the floor. I stayed out on the like perimeter. I prefer to get to the basket. So like a lot of people think that that kind of brings out some big tendencies, but at the same time, like my skill set was so well rounded that I could do. I feel like I could do anything out
Mhm.
there. So for me, I just think it's being multi versatile, and like I feel like I'm a mismatch for anybody guarding me, anybody. So like that's why I feel like when I'm out there offensively, I kind of just want to go with the flow of the game and not be boxed into a position. When I got to my last school, he kind of threw me in and put me as a five, like
Oh
a
yeah.
center.
Yeah.
Like I just felt like so out of place because the
Mhm.
last 5, 6, 7 years of my life, I've been working to get to the point where I can be on the perimeter and be comfortable, which I was. And
Right.
had a lot of injuries last year, wasn't able to really get my shots back to where I needed to be in the flow of the season because, we're still playing games, all
Mhm.
that stuff. This summer, I just made sure I got that back and now I changed my form and the mid range the mid range game, I'm telling you, that's really my favorite shot to shoot.
Yeah.
And Coach Donnelly always lets me know, like, whenever we work, he works me out. He tells me, like, Baba, like, I look back and I watch our film from last year all the time and see how open the mid range is. Like,
Right.
anytime you get any open space in this area, shoot the ball.
Right.
Because I feel like that's something that I can provide for the team. And, you know, that's why I want to kind of be like, when people see that shot, I want them to think like, yeah, like Baba was able to hit that anytime he wanted. So
Love it.
yeah.
Love it. Um, so talk to me about, yeah, you obviously haven't been able to get like a lot of sample size of like the guys on court, so you're not familiar with the whole team yet, but you have interacted with your teammates a bit off the court, and in your individual workouts, you've seen them a little bit. So talk to me about, from based on what you've like observed so far, like what excites you the most about the potential this team has. And then obviously I know the answer to this, but you think that team can go all the way. So talk to me about what excites you the most, and just your first impressions and all that stuff.
I mean, what excites me the most, and what like anybody can see the first time seeing like any of these guys, like most of our team work out, it's just how athletic we're gonna be, how athletic, long, strong. Like, it's gonna be like, I always say, like, just look no further than my own apartment. Like, it's me. I'm 6'6", Max 6'9". You got Brandon 6'7". You got Jalen also 6'6". So like, just our apartment itself is huge. We got 6'6" freshman. We got a 6'10" freshman. We got a 6'6" Ferris. It's
Yep.
just like, damn, like, we're stacked up, but we can
Okay.
all move.
Mm-hmm.
I think what excites me the most about this team is just how athletic and like just how skilled like we are as a team. Like, even the guys that you think that are just athletes, no, these guys are just as skilled. Like BC, like, I was just watching him shoot the ball. Like, I'm like, he's one of the best shooters. Like, I know I'm going to have a chance to play with. So like,
Oh yeah.
that excites me because I'm looking forward to just playing off of all these guys. All of us just playing off of each other and just really going out there every day collectively and killing, because we all have that mentality. So yeah, I'm excited most for that reason, just how athletic and skilled we are.
For sure. All right, Baba. Let me transition back to COVID for a second.
Mhm.
So we don't necessarily know when this will end, the whole pandemic, and all that stuff. Um, but talk to me about your thoughts on how you think we're progressing in terms of like finding a solution, like getting out of it, like having some sort of normalcy. And talk to me about what you think, life will be like in the future. Do you think we'll have like some sort of variation of how it was before it hit? Do you think it'll be like entirely different? Like, what's your thoughts on all that stuff?
I personally, like, this pandemic is going as far as we as people want it to go. You know, like, if everybody just got together collectively and said, okay, we're going to make sure this stops today, everybody would comply with everything that the CDC is telling us to do. Obviously, with this huge election coming up, everybody's so, like, everything's just conspiracies. Everybody's like, I don't trust this, I don't trust that, which
Mhm.
rightfully they should be. They should be skeptical of that
Mhm.
type of stuff. But at the same time, I feel like if everybody just followed it's obviously not smart. Like, anybody right now with a brain knows in the pandemic, it's not smart to be in like huge social gatherings,
Right.
especially with people you don't know. You
Right.
you don't know their day to day. Um, that's why I feel like how much longer we have in this pandemic, we won't know until we see how people begin to act after the election.
Hmm.
Because we're in Florida where people think that this pandemic was over in
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
So until people get the fact in their head that this is real and this is a big thing, like, I don't think we'll be able to move forward yet. And I do think it might just be the optimism in me, but like, I do think that when obviously we do get past this pandemic, that we will return to somewhat normal.
Hmm.
Uh, Normal as in, I think everybody will be more hygiene sensitive, like washing your hands, not touching your face as much, because before then, I know before this whole thing happened, people weren't washing their hands as well as they could have.
Yeah.
People weren't, taking the proper,
Right.
hygiene, um, you know, measures. So like now it's just, I do think, when this is all over, we will go back to normal because I don't think the fear of the virus won't be as much because by then we'll have a functional vaccine and people will take more better care of their bodies and better care of how they interact with people.
All right, last one, Baba. So I'm not sure if you heard, but our conference did announce a while back that they're postponing all winter stuff until the new year. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question to you is, obviously things are suspended right now. We know that. So once you guys are able to get the all clear to go back to, getting ready for the season, what are you going to be doing preparation wise to make sure that you're in the best possible shape you can be for when you guys go live? You're going to be shooting more shots, weight room, like what are you been doing preparation wise?
You know, it's a frustrating time for everybody because we don't have the access to the facilities that we're used to. We're not like can't get into our own gym, can't get into the weight room. Obviously we have the wellness center, but we have to share that with everyday students,
Right.
and there's a lot of restrictions. When you're doing a workout at the gym, you can take your mask off if you're doing a strenuous activity, but in the wellness center, they're real strict about keeping it on. So um, what a lot of us have been doing has been going to wellness, going in there together, running through a couple of drills, realistic drills that we do in our own individual workouts and stuff to stay sharp, keep our shots, keep our touch, conditioning, obviously you can't replicate like on court conditioning until you get on court. So, a lot of guys running the lake. I personally have been taking this time to really work on a lot of different skills in the wellness center, as well as doing a lot of lifting and, making sure my body stays right. This is obviously not where we want to be. We don't want to be like out of the gym for 2 weeks, but, I look at this as a time to really take care of my knees and make sure that they're in a spot to where I don't have to miss any individual or practices because of knee soreness or anything like that. So, I've been trying to take real good care of my body and watching what I've been doing these past couple of weeks. So, I'm excited to get back on the court and just trying to stay ready.
Hey, love that attitude. It's a great attitude to have, Baba.
Sure.